Guys, there's a really good chance that you're holding on to lawn care clients right now that are quietly destroying your lawn care business. I know that because I've done it before. And what I want to do is I wanted to share with you in this video the types of clients who can really be holding you back, and the types of clients you really need to let go of and drop. Now, forgive me because I had made this fantastic video today riding around in my truck, and I lost all my audio footage, so I'm going to have to do a voiceover here with another project that I did today. But you guys hang in there. This is going to be really, really valuable because, again, I've just seen it over and over again where people they string the clients along, and these clients are holding them back. And many times lawn care business owners don't even know it. So the first type of client that will be holding you back without you knowing it's what I call the lowball legacy client. Okay, this is like an old client who maybe you had at the very, very beginning, and they were great, but like they're still paying like outdated pricing. Like they might be paying pricing from like 2020 or 2021. Now you've got a couple options here. You raise the price on them to get them where they need to be, or this is the client that you have to let go. And I want to tell you that this client, it's hard to let go because they're somebody who they love you. You do a great job. You like them. They're a good client. They've been a loyal client, but you have a very difficult time raising the price on them just because you've had that relationship for so long. And I want to tell you, I've been there. I've done that before, but I promise that client is eating up valuable room on your schedule. You've got to raise the price on, again, what I call the low ball legacy client, or you've got to let them go. And there's probably a couple clients that have come to your mind right now that you're thinking, oh, that is Miss Susie, or that's Mr. Jared. And tell you what, Miss Susie and Mr. Jared, they got to get a rate increase today, or they got to get let go because they are holding you back. And it's as simple as that. And the truth is, you know it. The second client that's holding you back is the outlier client, okay? This also could be a good client, but it just doesn't make sense from a route standpoint, or a density standpoint, or an efficiency standpoint to keep them on your schedule. You're spending more time like on fuel and going over there. Let's say even if it's 15 minutes out of the way, one way, okay? And you can say, well, at least it's not 30 minutes across town or 45 minutes across town. It's just 15 minutes out of the way over there. But Lynn, let me tell you what, that 15 minutes there and back, and then by the time you do the job, you very easily can eat up an hour and a half of your day, okay? You really, really can. And if you go and plug your routes into like a software program like Yardbook, and then you hit the optimize route button, and you see that you've got a couple of those clients that are on the outliers, I would just take those off the schedule and then re-optimize the route and then look at the minutes saving. Yardbook allows you to do that. And I've just been shocked before. You think it's not that far out of the way, but you got to remember it's double. It's there and then it's back, and it just opens up so much more productivity. The other thing that I would say about the outlier client, sometimes it stinks to get rid of a client because you're like, well, I don't know if I can really afford to lose this person. Here's what you do. As soon as you get a new client in the neighborhood that you're already working in, you kind of have this other outlier client earmarked as somebody you're going to let go. So it really kind of just it lightens the blow to you whenever you're immediately replacing them. So again, don't cut them right away. You know, if you feel like you can't have to, but kind of just kind of tag them, kind of earmark them, and say, hey, the next time I get a client in one of these neighborhoods that I'm already working in, that new client is going to take the place of this outlier client. And again, that's one way to lessen the pain of getting rid of those outlier clients. The next is the constant complainer, or the disrespectful client. And I'm going to group these two together because I almost feel like they're one and the same. They are different. But recently, man, I took a chainsaw to my client list. And most of it was new clients, people who haven't been with me for a very long time. And you just go look at my most recent Google review from this lady named Lana. I knew we were going to get a poor review whenever I sent these cancellation letters out. And look, I'll put the cancellation letter here that I sent out to all these clients. But what I'm getting back to is the constant complainers or the disrespectful clients. If you have 200 clients, okay, and you've got like 3 clients or 4 clients who are eating up like 90% of your office calls, the emails, your emotional energy, your emotional bandwidth, dude, that's not normal. Like if you have 200 clients, it should be evenly spaced out with customer service, but we all know it's not like that. Like we all know that we've got like 10% of our clients give us like 90% of the problems, and you can tell me if I'm lying on that, but I would guarantee that I'm right, because that's just human nature, just the way it is. And if those people, if they are eating up all your emotional bandwidth, like, dude, you've got to let them go. I promise they are not worth keeping on, okay? So yeah, you can look here at the review that this lady left me. The truth is, guys, I was as professional in the cancellation letter as I could be, and I was very, very professional in this response to her. But I'll tell you what, the truth is, and I'll just tell y'all here on YouTube, this lady was an absolute nightmare. This lady, like, she was taking up probably 60 to 70% of our inbound calls, text messages, emails, and stuff. And it was insane. She was a new client. And in the final straw, she at 7:45 at night, I'm sitting down trying to have dinner with my family, and I'm getting a feet picture of her. This lady is like taking a picture of her feet standing in the grass, I guess where the crew had missed maybe like 3 inches on the curb, that she wanted them to cut a little closer to the property line. I understand there's a customer service issues, but my point being, like, if you don't have respect to like not text me at 7:45 at night while I'm sitting down trying to have dinner, or you can't wait till normal business hours to do this, like, we're just not a good fit. And it's as simple as that. So she was not happy whenever I let her go. You can go read that Google review. But guys, if you go mess around with my Google reviews, please do not leave me poor comments or poor Google reviews. I've had some people from YouTube that they go on there and leave me a 1-star, and it really hurts our Google reviews. So if you want to like say something nice, feel free to do that, but do not go in here, please. Just very respectfully, please do not mess with our Google reviews. I would greatly appreciate that. The next client who you've got to let go, and this, I've got such a pet peeve about this, I'll tell you about it, is the one and done client. Now, I'm not talking about big projects. I'm not talking about big mulch or landscaping installations where you can really make good money. I'm talking about the one-time cut, the one-time small little hedge trimming job. And here's where I'm going with this. If you are in the Northwest Florida area, we have a group called the Pensacola Contractors Group, okay? And I see homeowners go into this, and they ask for a lawn care service to come do a one-time cut. Maybe it's in the middle of July and August. They're about to pass out. They don't want to deal with their lawn. And I am shocked. I'm absolutely shocked at the amount of lawn care providers that will go on there and there'll be 50 of them within a matter of like 30 minutes, just beating down a $50 or $60 lawn into like $30. Real quick, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is just a post on Pensacola Contractors. Just came through like an hour ago. I don't want to show you the person's name. Seeking lawn care rental property somewhere over in Pensacola. Look, an hour, dude. You got 30 comments from people doing a one-time cut, beating this price down to absolutely nothing. It's insanity. That's what I'm talking about, man. I cannot wrap my head around that, and I go very extensively into Turf Pros Academy on like why you want a business with recurring revenue. So you want to be building a business, not chasing a dollar. And there is a very big difference between chasing a dollar versus building a sustainable business with recurring revenue. And again, I'm not talking about these one-off big jobs. I'm talking about people who are constantly just chasing the next little dollar. You will never get ahead, and you've got to stay away from those one and done clients. They're low tickets, they're low commitments, and it's not worth your time at all. You need to be building your business with recurring revenue, high value clients, and as simple as that. The truth is, the more types of these clients that I cut out of the business, the better my business got. So I would just say, do not be afraid to drop people who are not a good fit for you, because clients who value your time and your work, they are out there. And again, I go into a deep dive into Turf Pros Academy on how to price right, how to build a profitable route, how to stop chasing junk jobs that drain energy. If you want help with that, be sure to join us in Turf Pros Academy. There's always a link in my description. You guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one.